Hello guys, welcome back to the next episode of how to make a top-down shooter game. Now I have decided that the game should be a space shooter, so I'm going to create the character and the movement. So let's get right into it. Okay, so as I said in the intro, welcome back to the tutorial, and we're going to begin by making the character. Okay, so I have these two sets of objects, which is the player and the debug. The debug is a text, just a text object. Is a text object, and then the player, which is a sprite. You can do both these two things by just add a new object. You choose sprite, and then you import an image of your choice to it, and then it will work. And then for the text, let me remove this. And for the text, you can just come down here and then click on text, and then you the name of the object, what you want to display. You can also set it to 40. Okay, so I'll first drag the player into the scene, and the player is a 128 by 128 pixel. I'll try reducing it to 64 by 64 because you don't need him to be this big. Okay, so let's go to the event. Okay, you will see that there is some code here. I programmed this myself, so let's just do it one by one. Okay, so you first see this when you start your program. So you add your first event, which is add an event, and then let's make the movement for the character. So you add a condition, and then you click on key, search key here, then key press, then you add W. So when the W key is pressed, you come player, and then you add a force, search add force, and then you check the force. So add force towards an angle, add force to move towards an object, and add force to move towards a position. So add force towards an angle, and then we set it to the player angle. So the player is the name of the object, so we set it to that, the player's angle, and set it to, let's just say, 200 in pixel per second. You will choose instant, and you click on this. So that means when you click on W, right now you might think that when you click on W it should move forward, right? But no, it will move sideways. Why? Because in Gdevelop, when the object is in its normal state, this angle is considered as 0, and 0 in Gdevelop, it registers its angle on the east length, so it always moves east for a degree of 0. It's not straight up, it will move this side, not straight up. So to fix this, we can negative it by 90 for it to be here, so that when you are moving it should move forward up. So if I negative this by 90, it should move upwards. So let me change this to angle of 0. It should move upwards. So you see, now it's moving upwards, right? So we can set the other key binds, W, S, A, and D. So, and then this time the W should move forward. That's the reason it's negative 90, right? So for the S, you can choose to add 180 to it, but that won't work. Why? Let me just show you. If you I press S, now you see where it's going. And to even let you know the reason why this is there, the debug text, because I want to show you which key I'm pressing. So let's just say, let me click on the UI layer. I create this layer. So to create this, you can just click on add a layer, and then you just type in the name. So let me create this. Okay, so the UI layer, click on it, and then I drag this here. So this text will be on the UI layer. Click on add a new event, add action, debug, and then text. Then we set the text of the debug to key press and last key press. Click on this. So this is going to show you the key I'm pressing right now. Currently pressing W, that's the reason it's moving here. If I press A, that's A. If I press S, now you see I'm pressing S, and it's moving this forward. Okay, so to fix this, you can just add 90 instead. So as I told you that in Gdevelop, it's registered the angle as in east. So for you to make it move downwards, you need to let's just say add 90 degrees to this angle so that it will move down here. So if I click on S, now you see it's moving down. So the W and S has worked. And then for force, for the force of A, I can decide to negative it by 180 or plus it by 180. So you see it still moves like this, and if I negative it by 180, it will still have moved like that. So okay, let's do the D. So with D, you don't need to put anything here because it already will move in this direction. So the D, see, now you have made the small simple movement of the character. Now let's try making the background. So I'll add a new object, a panel, and then I'll select. Okay, I know that in your computer you don't have this selected, so to get this you can just let me remove this, and then okay, you can choose a file, and then you pick. Okay, so yeah, choose this, and then let's call it space ground. So yeah. This one is quite important. You need to remember this. Add an event, and this is going to be the beginning of the scene. So scene, beginning of the scene. Okay. Then you set camera. Oops. Camera zoom. Then set this to 3 under the base layer. So it is. The camera should be something like this. Camera should be something like this. Then we set camera, again camera, and then we set the camera to follow the X and Y of an object, and that will be the player. Player center X. Okay, copy this. Do it again, but this one is the Y. Here's Y. So with this, the camera should follow. You see the camera is following it correctly. Let's set it zoom to 2. Okay, now it is, the camera is following it much nicer. Okay, so I'll set the Y position here a little bit down. So let's pass it by okay, so it is. Character looks a little bit more nicer. Now let's set the one that is quite important, which is the player's angle. Rotate it towards an angle, and the angle will be player angle to a position. Go to a position, and the position will be the cursor's X and Y position. Cursor's X and the cursor's Y. And then the speed should be 0 so that it will move instantly. So that means you see now it is moving a little bit nicer. Okay, now you realize that it's actually not, if I set it to 0, so yeah, this is 0 angle, now it is moving top. Okay, so to fix that, you just have to add 90 to it, or subtract, but I think it's add. Okay, so now you see it is working. Okay, okay, now it's time to set the camera's border so that it won't fall. So we set this also at a non-condition event. So you set it to camera, and then you set the camera boundary. So the left boundary should be set, but before that you need to get something to set the boundaries. I'll duplicate this and then set it to space. Okay, and this row of this one, remove it and set this to border around this. So the left should be space border, then set it to left, click left, and then boundary box left. The same for the rest. Okay, so with this, okay, now you see, we just leave. See? Okay, so the boundary is a little bit off. Okay, you can just choose to do what you want like this. Just make sure it is on this platform. Okay, yeah, just make sure it's on this platform. You don't need to increase it or anything, just make it like this. So yeah, you say, yeah, don't worry about this. To fix what was the problem on that other screen, fix this simply. Set it to 32 by 32 and see how much small it can be. So ooh, okay, yeah, now this is much smaller. So to fix the problem of the border actually not restricting you to see the outside, you can just click here, open the scene property, and then you set this to black. So with this, the scene is black. So when you move towards the border, even towards the border, you actually see darkness. You see? Now seems like job is done. Okay, everything is done. You can arrange it to your liking. Arrange it so that it might not mess up with your code. And to also do that, you can click here, add event group. Then you can say maybe controls, and then you can add the control for the key press under it, just to arrange your code much nicely. Sure to save, and it will work the same as how it is. Nothing will be different about it. Okay, so thank you for watching. Oh, and before you go, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment on what you want me to do next. Thank you for watching, and see you later. Peace.